Hey guys, what's going on? It's Charlie with 4BZ Truth. Uh, I felt compelled to speak to you about something, and it's very convenient for me to talk to you while I'm driving, so I just taken advantage of this moment. Um, so I was talking to a friend of mine about having him speak on my live stream, and he's kind of apprehensive, which I totally understand because it's not something he's used to. But he's probably one of the more insightful people that I've spoken to about like just the condition of the world and how everything is happening and why everything's happening the way it is. And it's all been established before. And so it's when you say pandemic, there's a lot of truth to it. Not just the pandemic, but the foundation of everything has been structured. And sometimes I think that people are not intelligent enough to have a world elaborate scheme the way that it is. Because I had a lot of people say, I don't understand this whole conspiracy theory stuff because I don't know how so many people can be involved in information not leak. Well, on that token, I feel like the information has leaked, and that's the reason I'm talking to you about it, because it's information that has gotten to me and it's gotten to millions of other people. Now, the conditioning of the minds on the media and social media, just in people, the way that they interact with each other, and the way that everything is, culturally, um, fundamentally implemented into the minds and shared with educated people through the systems that are established. Now, I think that all this stuff has been, uh, even going back to hundreds or thousands of years ago, you'll see examples of people that try to step out of the mold or the cookie cutter mentality, and they end up being, demonized and burned at the stake for things that are thinking outside of the box. And in reality, they came, the forefathers, you might say, realized that there was something to this freedom of speech concept. So they wanted to make sure that people were aware that the First Amendment was the first most important concept that people cannot let get away. Because without freedom to speak, we're going to start burning people at the stake again. We're going to start book burning. We're going to start doing all this stuff where people are just going to be. Now, people are rejected for their beliefs, people are demonized for their speech. And, I, I value the fact that my channel, 4BZ Truth, is actually dedicated to free speech, whether it be something I believe or not. Some people will say, well, gosh, man, you're all over the map. You don't really seem to know what you believe in. And it's not that I don't know what I believe in. It's that I don't want to act so arrogant to say I have all the answers. And, to let somebody give their side of the story is very important to me because that's kind of how I was brought up in my life. I actually feel like um, free. I'm sorry, I got distracted because I'm driving and there's a dog just like getting ready to jump out of their vehicle. I'm like, oh my gosh, that thing is going to jump out in the road. Anyways, So I value people's opinions because I feel like somebody's opinion is what trained me into my thinking. You can blame my parents for that. You can blame the people around me, teachers, everybody. I was conditioned by everything that influenced me. And I'm watching my son literally pick up every little detail of what I'm teaching him. And it's not like I'm intentionally just making sure he picks up all the little intricacies of everything that I mean, like, say, for instance, my wife will say, "What the heck?" And my son will say, "Heck, heck." And it's not like, we're trying to teach my son the word heck, but the reality is he's going to pick up everything that we expose him to. He is more than a little sponge. I've seen him like have an explosion of, just learning. Like his little brain has been conditioned in a way where it is literally just sucking up all the information, like more than I could ever imagine. It's like this age, being a toddler, is amazing to see a kid and how they go from being a toddler or an infant or, a little baby that can't even walk and they're just trying to figure out how to be mobile, to now he's not only mobile, but he's soaking up every little detail of everything. Now he's still practicing and he's not there yet, but I can see how he's learning how to say his little phonics and things like that. Anyways, so the point is, people learn from their environment. So I'm going to say right now that whether I learned the truth or not is irrelevant on this channel, because I don't know if some of it has been conditioning, and I'm putting my own feet to the fire like anybody else. I feel like it's everybody should put their feet to the fire. I always use that saying, refiner's fire. There's a song that in the Christian church, purify my heart, let me be as gold and precious silver. Purify my heart, let me be as gold, pure gold. Anyways, it talks about gold that is burned down to the core, and all the dross. I work with liquid solder all the time, and guess what? Molten solder creates a lot of dross, and people are basically, or you scoop it off the top, and then you have pure molten metal. The thing is that there's always going to be dross burning out of there, but if you actually look at it like this analogy of gold is not pure until you refine it, and the concept of finding that state of purity is really just burning. You're burning everything away. So, I believe that everybody should, allow their feet to be held to the fire. And really, the only way to effectively burn away that dross is to keep an open mind. Because sometimes, when you project your bias on everything, you're never going to get ahead. Because I feel like I don't have all the truth of everything, but I do know this: no one individual or no one ideology has all the truth. So, as soon as you start projecting that you have, if your ideology is the only way that is truth, then I feel like that's you know, I don't want to say you're lost or anything, but I just feel like, and when I say the only way, see that goes back to the discussion of salvation or being saved, like, because I'm a Christian and what do you save from? What does Jesus save us from? Is he saving us from hell? Well, if you actually read the depth of the words, you start seeing that the words actually are suggesting that we're being saved from a life that is not full. If you actually look at people that are in third world countries, oftentimes you'll see how they, you know, they'll be happy about the little things. You know the saying hashtag first world problems. That's that's an idea of first world being entitled. They're entitled. People are entitled. I'm entitled. I'm in the United States. I'm entitled to free rights, for freedom. And I guess the founders of this country pretty much were advocates of promoting uh, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they said that separation of church and state was not for the sake of the state. It was separation from the state from the church. So the church actually had the freedom to operate in freedom, and then the state actually had to stay out of that, what was going on with that. So now all these churches are closed because, social distancing. You can't get in small confined areas because, God forbid, we'll spread we're starting the second wave if we get together. We're just, if you go to the beach, you're gonna see wave after wave after wave after wave, and they're not gonna stop. And this is what they're pounding into our heads. I think that the waves are just gonna keep coming, and they're gonna keep locking us down more and more and more and more and more, and it's never gonna stop. It's not like people haven't suffered from disease in all of time. This is one of those concepts where they're scaring people into submission so that they could take this vaccine or whatever, and it's actually going to be what ultimately kills everybody, in my opinion. And I'm just basing that on my gut feeling. I think that, or maybe it doesn't kill people initially. Maybe it's something that over time, like 3 to 5 to 10 years down the road, it's going to start manifesting the illnesses that they didn't foresee or whatever. Oh man, we didn't foresee this happening. Yeah, I'm not getting that damn vaccine. I'll go to prison. I'll lose my kid or my boys. I don't freaking. My other son's not born yet, but see, this is my biggest fear. I'm hoping that it's like it kind of puts me or backs me into a corner. Do I take the vaccine for the sake of my kid? Do I get him vaccinated or get both of them vaccinated um, so that they could, so that we can still be a family? That's a very scary thing, and it sounds like that's probably going to be what we have to decide. And in my opinion, we've been warned. We've been warned because it says that those who take the mark of the beast, and I truly believe that this is part of the beast system. The beast system is the new world order. You know, new world order, and that new world order beast, the seven-headed beast with 10 horns, is going to destroy the foundation of this world, and then out of the ashes will rise the dragon, the two-horned dragon. And guess who that is? It's Satan incarnate. And again, I think Satan is actually is a concept. Satan is the adversary. So if you're not, if you think that there's an individual antichrist, I mean, whatever the case may be, I don't know. But I believe that they're going to say that the concept of Christ is what caused people to break away from the government system and feel like they needed to have like this, freedom that, people shouldn't have freedom. They're really starting to elevate China and their communist mentality. Like, oh, look at China. They sure know how to do this lockdown system. They sure know how to control their people. Let's use China as the let's adopt their system because they're the ones that seem to set the right standard. And communism has been creeping in, but it's now it's being sold to people as progression, progress. We're making progress in this country. I didn't really want to be all political in my views, but I'm realizing politics is ideology, and ideology is what controls the masses. So I'm going to just say right now, I refuse to be controlled by that ideology. And I'm hoping you guys feel the same. If you think I'm stupid, give me a thumbs down. I don't freaking care. But I hope you guys give me a thumbs up. I think the message should be promoted everywhere we go. I'm going to get fired from my job because I'm about to. You're gonna love this. If you guys haven't heard of Rashid Buttar, Dr. Rashid Buttar, he actually has basically a doctor's note that says that, you know, I, these people that are working for this company shouldn't have to wear a face mask because it causes all these issues. But it also goes into more depth about how there's a phone number for the Department of Justice or something like that, and it's actually against the law for an employer to force an employee to wear a face mask because it causes harm. Like, you can literally prove that it causes harm. And if your employer is forcing you to do that, they can actually be fined like $50,000 for the first offense, I believe, and $150,000 for the second offense. Don't quote me on that, but it's pretty extreme if you haven't heard. But I would go to Dr. Rashid Buttar's channel, and you can hear what he's saying on that. He's like one of the probably top 5 people I would listen to in this pandemic situation. He's extremely knowledgeable in all this stuff. And I've reposted some of his videos on this channel. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up. Honestly, I just wanted to kind of rant a little bit as I was driving to work. So I love you guys very much. Please subscribe, ring the bell icon, and like the video, and share on your social media if you feel so inclined. Talk to you later. All right, bye.